off. Story of never giving up. Are you someone who just perseveres? Well, we have launching this book, Never Give Up, today, and we're excited to be interviewing some of the authors who share their stories about never giving up. We have one of them here today, Jacalyn Price. I'm excited that you are part of this and that you've shared your story. So we'll just get started. And why don't you just introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, thank you, Sally. I'm Jacalyn Price from Newcastle, Australia. And to be part of these authors group is just amazing. Like, you always want to write a book or write a chapter and share your story. You don't realise how many people you touch hearts and change lives, even on a daily basis. So I just love part of this.
Yeah, well, we love having you. So, why don't you share what about this book made you say, hey, you know what? I can do this. I can write a chapter in this book. What was it about this book, this particular book, the Never Give Up book that...
Well, I faced many challenges in my life, and the one I have in my book is one of the biggest challenges I've had. And if I can go from a wheelchair to walking and not having to worry about any aids anymore. Everybody faces a challenge with sometimes it's walking, sometimes it's other challenges, and sometimes you want to give up because it's just too hard. And you don't realise what you can do to get through that challenge. If you can't manage yourself, you ask for help because everyone has a challenge, and often somebody's been through what you've been through, but they've had a more difficult challenge, and sometimes being caught in a wheelchair, people don't get out of that for the rest of their lives, but a lot of them come on to be in Olympics and all with wheelchairs, and the challenges you face makes you stronger. And if you can share that challenge and help somebody else get through a similar challenge, you've made a difference.
Yeah. Do you think people are born with that attitude, with that never give up attitude, or do you think that's something you learn over time?
You learn over time because, as children, you follow what goes on in your parents' life and challenges you have at school, but you don't realise how things can change in a split second, like the chapter in my book. Like just a simple fall made a difference in my life. You don't realise how quick things can happen. And it absolutely does change your life.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about your chapter. That's your title, life can change in a split second. So you want to just maybe share a little bit about your story, that, a little bit about what you wrote in the chapter without giving too much away?
Yeah, well, I was at work and I just had a simple fall that everyone falls over and gets up. And I thought, within a couple of hours, I was in intense pain. I thought, this is weird. I only fell over. So I ended up going home. They couldn't find the cause of the pain. And within a couple of months, my left leg went numb completely. And I thought I'd had a stroke. But I realised that I'd damaged the sympathetic nervous system. So it took a while for my leg to come back to have some feeling. But then I spent the next 13 years in a wheelchair and motorised scooters, crutches, and went through a lot of pain clinics to try and manage that pain. And they said, you'll be like this. I said, that's what you think. I'm not stopping in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And it took a long time to get out of the wheelchair, onto crutches, get off the crutches. But as I still kept the crutches in the car just in case. I thought, no, they have to come out because I just can't think just in case. You know you can do it. You just take your time and be careful.
So how did you get through all that? I mean, was it just, were there people that helped you? Was it just your own gumption that got you going, or what
We
was it
did
you
have pain clinics which taught us like meditation and different ways to manage pain. We had groups we belonged to in the what they called RSD, regional sympathetic dystrophy, and some people have it in their arm or their leg, but they don't tell you it can spread throughout your body. So my body ended up whole being affected, and like if you drop a peg on your foot, it's like dropping a brick on your foot. The sympathetic pain is just so intense. I've never known pain like it. It's a nerve pain, so nerve pain is the most painful pain you can have.
Wow, wow. So how did your mindset play into all of this?
Well, I had some mentors as well, like controlling pain with meditation or do some breathing. Take yourself somewhere else than other than in the pain. And you don't realise the power of the subconscious mind saying, I am no longer in pain. I can control the pain. Just doing that positive affirmation every morning, I am or I can, you don't realise that power. Instead of thinking, oh, it's too hard, I'm in pain all the time, you tell yourself you're in pain, you will be in pain. The brain takes over.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing how your mind can control your body, right? I
That's
know I
correct.
did. Yeah, I did a whole meditation. There's a book that I was part of, and they talked about the different ways to get your mind and body connected. And I think a lot of people miss that. It's the act of being still, and the act of creating that imagination in yourself again, and being able to go to places like you said, to get out of your body and go to a place in your head, and to get to step away from the pain of your body, to step away from the anxiety and fear and whatever it is that you're feeling, and being able to do that. So I love that. And so you know what else would you want people to know about you, and about the book, the chapter that you wrote?
Well, sometimes a small challenge can be a breaking point because everyone has a challenge, but often it builds up and could be just a simple challenge. You just lost the plot. You don't know what to do and where to go. It's important you have a counsellor. I mean, I still have a counsellor from the trauma I've had because you'd like to share with someone other than family the challenge you have. And just talking to somebody else, you think, oh, wow, someone's listening.
Yeah, yeah, and it's that it's that connection with other people, right? It's that having that someone to bounce ideas off, bounce your especially like when you're going through stuff, your emotions, and having that person to connect with. So who's been that for you? Has there been people that you've relied on while you were going through this?
Often I do some of Tony Robbins' work and some of the other mentors I have. I have some coaches, and often, like some of the networking groups, there's a fellow that does breathing techniques. And
Hmm.
lately, I've learned some new breathing techniques and some meditation. And if you're really stressed out, there's a humming technique. So you put your fingers like to your ears here, do a deep humming when you're stressed. And while you're humming, you can't think about what's going on in your life. It just takes away that fear. And then you close your eyes while you do it, and the humming's louder. Just do it for a couple of minutes, and you think, wow, I've forgotten about all that worry I have.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. So, what do you want the readers to take away from this book and from reading your chapter? What is it that you want them to know about this never give up attitude?
So it doesn't matter what challenge you face, there's always a way to get through it, whether it's a small challenge or a big challenge. Always ask for help and share how you got through that challenge with others because you don't realise how many other people out there are facing challenges. And often they think, wow, she's going through the same challenge I've been through. If she can do it, so can I.
Yeah, I love that. So how can people connect with you if they want to connect with you after they read your chapter?
So they can reach out to me via my website or via my email, Jacalyn@jacalynp.com, and I can talk to them and say, look, what are you facing? Can I help you with some breathing techniques or some meditation or some of the similar things I do to help me get, like we still get pain at times, but when you feel the pain coming on, just sit, relax and breathe. And doing that relaxation, you're not thinking about the pain or the challenge you're facing.
Yeah. Well, we're talking to the authors of the book Never Give Up. If you are looking to purchase a copy, head on over to actiontakerspublishing.com/NPP or and never /never. Wrong book. actiontakerspublishing.com/never. Pick up your copy today. And while you're over there, you'll see free gifts from the authors. You'll be able to get some free gifts from the authors. So, Jacalyn, any last words before we head out?
Never give up, no matter what challenge you face.
Thank you so much for sharing your story in this book and for being a part of it. We appreciate you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
I want to thank these ladies. Many of them I never knew before the book, and now I know them. So it took an entire team to make this work. As you said, Sally, winning in those categories, none of us did it on our own. It was a collaborative effort. We've got Dionne Roberts from the UK. I'm sure you'll hear from her in a moment. But for me, and I've been publishing. I have a solo book. I have a couple other book collaborations. But this was a unique experience because from start to finish, everything was in motion. The method of communication, no author left behind, for some that may have struggled in getting their chapters done or slide them in under the wire. And everyone was treated equally the same. It didn't matter who you were and how many books you'd written. And Shanna's shaking her head about that because it didn't matter. We're all doing this together. So I love this unity and this community of us all getting there together and having the tools and everything that we need. All of the marketing materials are phenomenal. It's like, I'm going to just say this. It feels like the Super Bowl. There's two teams playing, but only one team's going to win, but they have to have the marketing materials ready. So I watched the Super Bowl right after. There goes the Rams with all the, you won. Of course, they had to have the other team ready also. Well, this team was ready. They were ready with the #1 stickers. And I guess, halfway through the day, here we are getting our marketing materials with the #1 Amazon sticker on it. Who does that? Action Takers Publishing does it. I love it. I mean, I'm holding that close to my chest. I'm going to be using those pictures from years to come. But to just have it all ready and prepared, because you know what, Sally? You guys believed in us. Yep. You believe we're going to hit #1. And I love it. I'll take this to write again. Thank you.
And the fact that you got your whole family involved too.
Yes, yes. My husband's involved. We had to work some appointments around this. As a matter of fact, I've got one after this. He was so kind to put, his something that's very important to him on hold. So I'll be doing that. And I schedule something before it. I do run a business. I scheduled all those things around that. But today, this calendar said book launch. And my husband was so kind to work with me and eat his dinner around all of this too. He had to wait, but he was so patient. So it takes, if you're in a household and it's more than just you, they have to be a part of the process. They have to be a part of this. It is community at home.